Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I recently did a video on color and tone. It was just basic color theory information just to help you in choosing eyeshadow colors to complement your eye and skin tone and things of that nature. But in that video, I wore a look that I created using my new Beauty Killer palette. And when I posted pictures, just like thumbnails from that video, which was not related to the look on my face, I got a few requests to do a tutorial on this look. So because it's kind of a staple look for me and something I really like and wear pretty often, it's pretty close to my just everyday staple, I figured I would love to do this look for you because I'm probably going to do my makeup like this anyways. So those of you who asked on Instagram and in other places, thank you so much for the requests. I really love knowing what you guys want to see. Here we go. I'm going to be using my Beauty Killer eye palette. This is the only palette I'm going to be using and only eyeshadows from this palette to create this daytime glam makeup look. So if you want to see how I created this look for the first video and how I recreated it for you guys in this one, then please continue watching. So as usual, I've already gone ahead and done my eyebrows, and I did that using my usuals. I used my Anastasia Dip Brow in medium brown and my Anastasia Brow Wiz in medium brown. I also went ahead and primed my lids using my MAC Painter's Pot in Painterly, and I set that a little bit using some shadow just so it didn't crease on me, but I'm gonna go back in right now and reset my lid using a light colored shadow just to help with blending and make sure that primer doesn't crease. So I'm gonna just go ahead and jump into this baby, my Beauty Killer palette from Jeffree Star Cosmetics, which I absolutely love. And I'm just taking an eyeshadow brush from the drugstore, and I am gonna go into China White, which is a really nice, creamy, matte white shade. And I'm just gonna really pack that on all over my lid, all the way to underneath my brow. And now that everything is nice and set, I'm going to go ahead and jump into the main color of this look, the main color on top at least. And I'm going to use my favorite, absolute all-time favorite eyeshadow brush, which is my Morphe M505. I use this brush all the time in my videos, and I know I talk about it a lot, but literally, like, I use this every single day, and when it's dirty, I'm so sad because it is just my absolute favorite. So anyways, taking that Morphe M505, I'm going to go into this gorgeous color Courtney, which is again another really creamy matte shade, and it's like the perfect transition shade. It's just gorgeous. So I'm going to really load up my brush with that and just tap out any fallout. And now I'm just going to apply that directly to my crease, going from inner corner to outer corner. And because this is like my predominant color on top, I really want to pack that on and create a good amount of depth. So I'm going to coat my brush again and build that color up even more. Again, bringing it from inner corner to outer corner. And now that I kind of have that desired depth and my brush is not clean of product, but there's less on there, I'm going to start to blend. So I like to use circular motions when blending, and my pressure just gets lighter with my brush as I get closer to my eyebrow. And I generally like to take my transition color like all the way up to my brow right here below where it starts, and then kind of like blend down from here, leaving this area right under the arch of my brow pretty bright. I still blend into it, but I want to keep a nice brow highlight there. Okay, so now that Courtney's pretty much blended in, just to clean that up a little bit more, I'm going to go back in with that same eyeshadow brush I used earlier, and I'm going to take a little bit more of China White on my brush, and I'm just going to start underneath my brow and just blend that all in to re-accentuate that highlight and just soften the transition from Courtney to China White. And I'm going to take a smaller eyeshadow brush from e.l.f. and dip back into China White again. And I'm just going to pack that all over my lid. And to blend that all out really well, I'm just going to go back in with that M505 that still has a little bit of Courtney on it. And I'm just going to blend at the crease really softly. So that's pretty much it for the shadow on my upper lids. So now it's time for my winged liner. So I'm just going to do my typical winged liner, and I'm going to use my Almay liquid liner in black. And I'm just starting with the line on my upper lash line, and I'm just going to kind of graduate that from thinner at my inner corner to a little bit thicker at my outer corner. Okay, so now that the line above the lash line is down, it's time for the wing. So I like to do each step just one eye then the other, just to get as much symmetry as possible. So now, kind of starting from where my lower lash line ends, I'm just gonna draw out my wing. And now that the lower part of my wing is drawn out for both eyes, I'm gonna connect my top line to the corner of my wing. And now I'm just gonna fill that in and just try to create more symmetry. Okay, so now that my wing is done, I'm just going to put on some lashes off camera. I'm gonna use these double up, double stacked lashes from Ardell, and I'm gonna use my Duo adhesive lash glue, which is in the dark tone. And I'm just gonna coat my lashes and the artificial ones in my Maybelline Great Lash once the glue has dried. So I'll be right back. Okay, so lashes are on. I also went ahead and primed my face using my Benefit Professional Primer, and I let that absorb into my skin. So now it's time for foundation. And I'm gonna go the drugstore route for foundation and concealer today. I'm not doing anything special tonight, and I think I did use my drugstore products in the original video where I was wearing this look. So I'm gonna use my favorite drugstore foundation, my Revlon ColorStay Whipped Foundation. It's a full coverage foundation, and this is in the color 200 Sand Beige. And I probably use a little more than I need to. This is a full coverage, but I like a really nice coverage. And this is a really, really light foundation, like as in it feels really light on your skin. This is an awesome drugstore foundation for anyone, really. It's buildable and it's just so lightweight feeling. It feels like you don't have anything on, but it has great coverage. And it's affordable, which is always a plus. So I'm just dotting it all over my face and just blending it all in using my Morphe M439 buffing brush. And now that that foundation is nice and blended in, it's time for concealer. I'm going to be using my Maybelline Master Concealer in the color 10 Fair, and I'm going to blend that in using my damp beauty blender. And since this doesn't really have an applicator, I'm just going to squirt the concealer directly on my beauty blender and dab it on my face from there. So I just put the concealer all over the high points of my face where I want the light. This is like my pre-highlight. Okay, so now that that concealer is nice and blended in, it's time to set all of our cream liquid products with powder products. And I'm first gonna set underneath my eyes using my Shade and Light palette. I'm gonna take this yellowish color and just an e.l.f. actually blush brush. I'm just really gonna pack that in underneath my eyes and set all of that concealer. And I think I'm going to switch it up a little bit today. Normally I use a different powder to set the rest of my concealer, but since I rarely use this color, I'm going to go into this light color in my Kat Von D palette and use that same brush and just go over the other high points of my face where I put the concealer. So I like to continue with this whole highlight and contour throughout everything and really keep the light parts light and the darker parts dark. That's why instead of just setting my whole face with one color powder, I opt for a lighter one to go over the lighter cream products that we used. And now that those are all set, it's time to set the darker areas that just have the foundation on. So for that, I'm gonna use my MAC Studio Fix. And this is in the color C3. It's a darker color. And I'm just using this Bare Minerals powder brush. And I'm just gonna get that like in the hollows of my cheeks really well. And on the outer edges of my forehead and my temple and the sides of my nose. I want to set all of that foundation that I blended down onto my neck. So now that everything is nice and set, I like to go in straight from here and just get my contour and bake in so I can let that kind of do its thing while I finish up my eyes and the rest of my face. So as always, I'm going to be using my Benefit Hoola bronzer for my bronze slash contour and my e.l.f. Just face brush. Again, where we kept it dark already, so the hollows of my cheeks, I'm just going to suck in. And again, just around like the edges of my forehead, on my temples, and all of that stuff. Also gonna go just along my chin and jawline with that bronzer. Using this EO1 brush from Flower that I got from the drugstore, I'm going to contour my nose a little bit using that same bronzer. Just going down the sides of creating like a slimmer appearance. And just to sharpen things up and really define that contour, I'm going to use my Airspun powder. This is just a kind of like a light translucent powder from the drugstore, and my e.l.f. contouring brush. And I'm just drawing a line from kind of the middle of my ear to the corner of my mouth to really define that contour and sharpen it up. And I'm going to let all that loose powder just bake on my face while I finish up the rest of my makeup. So I'm going to go ahead now and finish the eyes. Now the bottom of this look is pretty soft. I did do some shadow below the eyes and a little bit of smoking out of my lower lash line just to try to balance the top and the intense wing and lashes. But I'm going with a nude liner and pretty simple lighter colors on the bottom. So using just a drugstore pencil brush, I'm going to go into Courtney. Sorry, there's like lipstick and lip liner all over this just from inside my little like carrying tin that I use to bring all my makeup up here. So yeah, gross, sorry. And I'm just going to smoke that Courtney color out below my lash line just from inner corner to outer corner. And now using a smaller pencil brush from e.l.f., I'm just going to mix in the Courtney color with a tiny bit of this gorgeous bright pink Star Power. And staying closer to my lash line, I'm just going to blend out a little of this pretty color. And now taking my Morphe B75 flat liner brush, I'm going to go into this color Vanity right here, which is like a really gorgeous matte plum color. And I'm just going to tight line my lower lash line. Just to blend it all, I'm going to go back with that little pencil brush and just blend those two colors in together. Now I'm just going to throw some mascara on my lower lashes really quick. I'm going to go in with my NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in the color Milk and just tightline my lower waterline. And to complete the eyes, all that's left is my inner corner highlight and underbrow highlight, and I'm going to use my Jeffree Star Cosmetics Skin Frost in Ice Cold for this. Just taking another little e.l.f. pencil brush, I'm just going to sweep this highlighter right below the arch of my brow. And right outside my tear duct. So that completes the eyes, but I'm not done with my Skin Frost quite yet. So I'm just going to pop a little bit on the bridge and tip of my nose using that same e.l.f. pencil brush. And taking this e.l.f. stipple brush, I'm going to sweep some of that highlighter on my cheekbones and kind of carry it up to my temple. I'm also going to, of course, pop a little on my Cupid's bow right above my lip. And I just want a hint of blush, so I'm going to use my favorite Wet n Wild Apricot in the middle color Icon blush. And just starting on the apples of my cheeks, I'm going to kind of marry that into that highlight and contour. Okay, so the face is done, so it's time to wipe off all this loose powder. I'm just using another powder brush and carefully trying to maintain that crispness, wiping away that powder right at the contour. Okay, so the face is done, so now it's time to set everything. I'm gonna use my MAC Prep and Prime Fix Plus, and I'm just gonna shake this up and spritz it generously all over my face. Okay, I'm gonna let all this dry and I'm gonna touch up my hair and come back and do lips and finish up this look, so I'll be right back. Okay, time for lips, and since I'm using a matte lip, I always prep with a little Aquaphor, just a tiny bit to give my lips some moisture. It helps them stay moisturized throughout the day and the wear of the lipstick, since matte lips can tend to get dry. And I went with my favorite nude lip for this look, so I'm going to start using my MAC Boldly Bare lip liner. And my absolute favorite everyday go-to nude light lip, my ColourPop liquid lipstick, which is an ultra matte in the color Trap. I love this color. Okay, so this look is complete. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love this look. It's a great everyday glam look if you're into wearing a little more makeup than the average person, but don't want to go with a crazy dark smoky eye or something like that. This could definitely be worn into the evening as well. It's a nice, soft, glam, neutral look. I've said it before and I mean it, this Beauty Killer palette is incredibly versatile. There is just such a range of colors and finishes, and you can do something from really soft and everyday to really vibrant, bright, and fun. So definitely recommend this palette. As always, I know you guys already know that. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up down below and subscribe to my channel if you like my videos and want to see more. So thanks so much again for tuning in. I really hope you guys enjoyed this one and really like this look, and I will see you soon. Bye.